Are we on schedule?
The Turks are on top of it. Yes, there will be no delays.
Please, Mr. President, I am asking you to reconsider. No, begging. The Sector 7 Undercity is home to more than 50,000...
Director Twisty.
At least let us issue a warning, sir.
The stench of the director's cowardice fills the room yet again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just love bloodshed.
What's his problem? It's like he doesn't want to kill tons of people.
Progress requires sacrifice.
Learn to live with it.
Okay.
I will remind you, thus far in this story, again, we did attack those 2 reactors, but Shinra deliberately made them much
Worse,
bigger.
Yeah.
Big false flag operations. This is an escalation. This is an insane thing to try and do.
Hey, we all changed.
We all changed.
We did change.
No,
earlier.
don't worry, we changed. Yeah, we we took our dress off right in front of Corneo, and he got a little excited, and then he went, "Oh, so you're a man?"
Yeah.
That makes it better.
Damn, it reeks.
The smell took that long to hit you.
Yeah.
It's not very...
It's soldier training.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
I see.
What were you gonna say, Joey?
I was gonna say it's like...
Oh yeah, Joey's here.
Oh yeah, hey guys, I'm here. I was gonna say it's really not that gross for a sewer at this part.
Mm-hmm. This is, and listen, and, we all know video games contractually obligated gotta have a sewer level.
Yeah.
So
the only way it's going to be a good video game. It's got to have fishing and it's got to have a sewer level.
Yep, we got a new staff for Aerith after doing some of the arena stuff afterwards. Mm-hmm. So we got some new stuff for her that's not super duper interesting. So we're just gonna get through it pretty quick. We all know every video game got to have a sewer level, or else the UN comes after you. So we can't be upset at them. We can't be upset at Square for following the rules. This is as per usual. Shot all this a little while ago. I forgot to pull up my notes ahead of time to remind myself everything that I'm up to, but it's okay because anybody who cares about the builds can look at the screen and see what's happening.
True.
That's it. You can pause. It's fine.
It's true. But yeah, so yeah, last time we were here, Corneo dumped us down a stinky hole after divulging that he is apparently used for apparently Shinra had him do intelligence gathering about where Avalanche was based. Because we experienced way earlier in the game, some of Corneo's dudes were asking around about Barrett's whereabouts, specifically. Cloud beat them up, but I guess he didn't do a good enough job.
Damn. Also, you were talking about builds, and I was joking that people can pause, but it's like, I mean, tell me if you play this differently, but it's like this game, like, build doesn't really exist until, like, the end game, because the build is what materia do I have on that I'm leveling right now,
Well, for me, because I have precognition, I pick, like, the right element for, whatever we're going to be fighting next.
Fair.
So,
Cloud,
does who you wake
I'll
up
tell you in a second.
first?
Yeah, I'll answer that question.
we have to get back to the slums right now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to drag Aerith into all this.
She'll understand.
How do you two know each other?
I saved her. She saved me. Round and round it goes.
I mean, that's pretty much accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain that wacky
That's
situation.
all there is to it. Sure there isn't something else going on?
I'm not forming
What do
a
you
harem.
mean?
I haven't known her. I've known her for like barely 12 hours.
Is that all it's been?
Technically we met her when she sold us that flower a couple of days ago, but we only met her.
Yeah.
We only met. Remember, we met her in the morning after the second bombing strike. We fell into her church. Remember what I mentioned last
thing
recording
is
session?
icky.
Remember what I mentioned last recording session about Mark? This is the beginning of a really crazy night.
Yeah.
Night's still going on, technically speaking.
That thing is.
Yeah, this dude's gross. This dude's gross.
Anything that lives in the sewer and has its tongue hanging out is
It's a bold statement. It's a bold statement. He's putting it out there that this doesn't bother him. Literally putting it out there. He's letting you know this is where I belong. And he does a little taunt when you start to fight. He lets you know I'm ready to go. You're in my world now.
Easy.
He has a couple of moves where he can actually basically. He does, obviously in this game you don't lose control of your characters like you do in some turn-based games with Berserk, but he can do basically a taunt that forces Berserk on your party members.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is Absu. He's a beast that Don Corneo keeps in the sewers. Much more intelligent than it appears. Magic attacks only have a slight effect. Ice have no effect. However, this dude, at least once, if you hit him with a really big fire attack, takes really big damage. He can be set on fire, and you can, some of his magical attacks, you can see like his horns glowing when he's performing certain attacks. If you hit him with a strong enough fire spell, you can knock one of his horns off, which will pressure him and do a lot of damage, and it will limit his attack capability for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, he also, when he jumps up there onto the rafters, he will try to come down and pin you, and if you manage to dodge out of the way, which is, it's easiest to do with Tifa anyway, because her dodge is the fastest, but I also gave her, in the last episode, I gave her the,
did he just like fling water at us?
He caused water to pop up out of the puddles that are around down
he
here.
uses the environment.
Yeah, no, so
He's gross.
he was, one of the things in his little blurb is that he can control the sewer water, and the sewer water will inflict poison on us. So, yeah, there's little puddles around the map that he will, it'll say, I think it says like, backwash or backspurt or something like that. And when that water bubbles out, it can poison you. He also has a really big move that he can do, where he will cause. I'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah. This so he can hit you with Berserk if he does taunt on you. If he pins you down and licks you, he gives you sadness.
Same. That's accurate.
He gives you ick.
You really do.
Yes, if you hit him with big enough fire spells, which is easy to do, and you can use Aerith's, two-hitting little ward there. He catches on fire, he's pressured, he can't do anything to you for a second because he's flipped out trying to put himself out.
Okay.
Eventually, he dives into the drink to get the fire off of him. No, he lives in there, Aiden. It's fine.
Yeah, but now he's gonna be all like drippy on it.
No, that's just the gamer girl bathwater. That's the gamer boy Abzu bathwater.
I got to impart the knowledge
Of
to
gamer girl
someone.
bathwater on somebody?
Yes.
Awesome.
Like recently. I don't know how they escaped that knowledge until this point, but I ruined it for them, and it was it was a great feeling.
It's really funny you say that because it's like it's one of those things like I can't imagine trying to explain it to somebody because
it's like you might as well be explaining it to an alien. There's no
Yeah,
amount of
exactly.
context.
Exactly.
There's no amount of human experience context
Nope.
that'll get you to the point, unless of course you are I don't know. I guess somebody had to buy it, right? I guess they understand it.
That was the hardest thing, was they were like, whatever, like people sell, they had enough like mental knowledge of the world around them to be like, people sell articles of clothing that are worn, and I understand that's a thing.
They were at level 2 arcane knowledge.
Like they had that, they understood, but they were like, but what do you do with bathwater? Like, you don't, like, or were they like smelling it? Were they like drinking it? And I was like, yes, ma'am.
Yep,
and they
sure,
wthat's
whatever.
That's disgusting. Didn't people get sick? And I was like,
Probably.
yes.
Oh, did they deserve
They
it?
did.
Most definitely.
That's called Darwinism.
Yeah.
It's called
At its
natural
finest.
selection.
Yep. And she, like, while she comprehended exactly what I was telling her, she just, like, she couldn't make it fit into
Check
her.
something real fast.
Yeah.
9 minutes and 5 seconds to get to Gamer Girl bathwater.
Yeah.
She, like, couldn't make it fit into her knowledge schema in her brain. She was like, I don't know what to do with this information.
I mean, it's probably better that way, right?
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
this
like,
is-
what happens if you tell somebody that and they're like, oh yeah, I get it.
Abzu was just about to use his big move where he basically causes a massive tidal wave of sewer water to come out of that vent on the left. Not only will it poison anybody that it touches, it does enough damage that it can just KO you if you get hit by it instantly.
Whoa.
However, we had not destroyed one of his horns yet, so I just hit him with a big fire spell and it knocked him down.
Okay.
Yeah, so he I don't think I even allowed him to perform that move
Well,
in
that's
this
good.
take. Yep. No, it's a very dangerous move. If he jumps up there, it's good to let Aerith, or it's good to have everybody having some fire materia. Tifa's got fire punches on right now. It's good to make sure you've got like at least one person with a spare ATB bar most of the time, because if he jumps up on the rafters, he's going to do something you don't want him to do. It's good to just be ready to knock him down, which is what I'm doing right now.
I hate that you're summon gooning right now.
What do you mean?
It's the bar is filled.
I don't need it.
But it's never about need. It's about just.
I'm using the ATB for other things, Joey.
I mean, that's the efficient way to do it, but like,
well, Joey,
on.
you also missed
Come
like 2
on.
episodes ago. We got to see every single summon we have so far because I went back for
Yeah.
Health House and got the WWE like intro talks for all of them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That is true.
You missed a lot of exciting stuff, Joey. I'm sorry.
What a shame. I was genuinely heartbroken when I heard I wasn't going to get to see Hell House. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
You can see it like everybody else when it comes out. He's so icky.
Yeah.
Oh,
See you later.
Kool-Aid Man in it.
He says to return to his home planet.
There it goes.
The sewers underneath Hollywood Planet.
Oh, I see.
Of course.
Do you think it lives down here, or?
Yeah.
Was probably Corneo's pet. And we were dinner.
Hey,
Yeah, that one's weird. The voice actress explained it's supposed to be an imitation of Corneo's weird horse laugh.
Oh.
sector just to take out Avalanche, would they? Destroying part of the city, killing all those people just to get at us?
I don't know. Is Corneo the kind of guy who'd make up shit just to screw with you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
But if he was telling the truth, and there's still a chance he was, isn't there? Then we should go. And if it turns out he was lying, then so what? Right?
Tifa!
Where
Run.
are we running to?
Back to Sector 7.
Okay. Do we know for sure how to get? Do we know what path to take? She looked like she knew where she
I'm
was
pretty
going.
sure we can use these tunnels to make our way
Okay.
back to Sector 7.
All right.
The sewers under Sector 6 and 7 should be connected. If you get in trouble, just follow the stench.
Awesome.
Another one of those lessons?
An avalanche thing, actually. We use them to move around the Undercity, in emergencies.
Sure we're not lost?
Positive. There should be a big waterway just up ahead. Let's find out.
But Tifa, there's loot this direction. Is it?
I'm sure it's worthwhile.
Is it anything of value?
It's not purple, so no.
Aether's not terrible. It could have been a lot worse.
They could have.
But anyway, Aiden, you were asking a minute ago about picking one of them. I think you intuited just picking one of them. What were you gonna say with that thought?
Does it do anything different? Does it mean anything
It does.
later?
Do you remember I explained that doing the like if like there's an affinity system, and if you do more side quests with Tifa or more side quests with Aerith, it boosts one of them over the other one. If you do all of both of their side quests, who you pick here is the game's de facto tiebreaker on who's in the lead.
Ah, okay.
There's also I'm just looking around at the room a little bit before we head out here because there's no hole in the ceiling for us to have fallen through, so I have to assume we fell out of that pipe right there, and it like flung, like that flap came up and we got flung out to the middle of the room. But anyway, if we do attempt to leave, it just says, the door's locked. I will point out, because we've had instances where Cloud's like, can't leave yet, can't leave them behind. Cloud was ready to leave without them in this instance. Would have if the door wasn't locked.
We just assumed they're already dead. It's fine. Gotta move on.
They need some rest. I'll let them sleep. They'll catch up.
Cloud. We have to get to Sector 7.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much to the Aerith scene.
Yeah.
That bastard!
Yeah.
We've been hanging out with Aerith all day, so I guess I don't know why hers is so much simpler than the Tifa one.
It really is.
But I think it's maybe like, we've been hanging out with Tifa all day. Sorry, we've been hanging out with Aerith all day. So maybe people check on Tifa first. One thing that's interesting is the cutscene after is very slightly different.
You gotta be kidding me.
Tifa doesn't say that if you picked her. That's the only difference. Is Tifa has a line that in the other version nobody says anything.
That's weird.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, Quick setup for the sewers! Yay!
More management. Let's go.
This is a lot of people's least favorite part of the entire game. Because in the original game, this was 2 screens, and we're about to be here for 30 minutes.
Wow, okay.
And here's, by the way, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
These are Sahagin, which I believe are D&D monsters originally, or they were named like slightly differently in D&D.
That sounds correct.
A lot of the bestiary of Final Fantasy is stolen from D&D
Well,
books.
I mean, it's not just Final Fantasy.
I mean, yes, it's true. Also, to be fair, like a lot of stuff that's in D&D books is based on, just like lore and legends and religious history and folklore from all around the world.
Right.
The Sahagin are funny though, because here they're little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle enemies that jump out at you, and it's just always funny to see how this franchise like recycles concepts and ideas and designs across its entire 30, 40 year lifespan at this point. Because here they jump out and they go. If you assess them, it says they have their own language and they have their own cultural hierarchy down here in the sewers.
Gross. Okay.
In Final Fantasy XIV, you spend a lot of time hanging out with the Sahagin. In the Stormblood expansion in particular, they speak English. They're civilized. They have different tribes.
Oh, is that one of the beast tribes that you can like get stuff with?
I don't know if I assume they have beast tribe quests, but they actually factor really heavily into the main story quest of Stormblood. Because there's a pretty lengthy bit. There's a pretty lengthy bit, maybe a quarter into Stormblood, that's basically about negotiating, getting through like blockaded waters.
Okay.
And there's a couple of different groups of Sahagin who have like basically competing trade rights in this area, and like you're negotiating with one of them to help you get through, basically.
Okay.
That's a bit of a simplification, but it's unimportant right now. But it's just interesting because that's one where they have generally pretty deep like voices, and everybody in that game has a British accent.
Perfect.
And they're like some of them are villains, and some of them are your buddies that you hang out with. It's just interesting how stuff gets remixed over the course of a series this big.
I hope that thing's airtight.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, hopefully it's not stink on the inside.
Oh god, it's feathers. Oh god. Oh jeez.
Yep.
Here you go, Tifa. Put these on.
Got something for you, Tifa. I got a present for our date that we're on right now.
Oh, we got a new question mark.
New track playing. New single just dropped.
New diss track just dropped. This won't release for 6 months, but the Kendrick Lamar's historic Drake diss track just dropped that everybody's freaking out over.
I haven't heard anything from it. I've just seen the reactions where it's like,
if this happened to me, I would kill myself.
The one I saw was like Drake, oh, you're kind of stinky, and it's like him, and it's the picture of the end of Evangelion.
Is that why everyone's talking about Drake currently?
Yes.
I didn't realize this happened, actually.
This happened like a few days ago.
Okay. I've seen a bunch of stuff of people being like weird Draking, and I don't know what that means.
Neither do I.
Okay.
I don't even know any of his music. All of my friends and I always are joking. It's like, when we talk about Drake, it's just like, somebody will always be like, he's the kind of guy that would get into a fight and it would turn into one of those like cartoon dust, like bang, pow, bang.
The last time I like for real listened to Drake and was like, this is not bad, was definitely like high school.
The only Drake track I've ever listened to is We Shop Bling.
Yeah.
That's probably not true. I've probably listened to some other Drake music at some point incidentally. It's just been on somewhere. But We Shot Bling is a masterpiece.
It is. It's real good.
And it's really funny because it was probably ghost written in the first place, and then it was further rearranged to make it into an actually good song with the We Shot music. So he doesn't get any credit for it. Anyway,
you can mash up the We Shop with just about anything.
Oh, I mean, it's brilliant. It's one of the most brilliant pieces of music ever. It's wonderful. By the way, while I'm sure that I think I may have talked about this on a video at some point recently, but maybe a stream. One of the complaints with the Switch is that after a couple generations of really interesting user interface and music and stuff for Nintendo systems, the Switch is really boring. While there's maybe that was an overreaction to like the Wii front end like required too much processing power, and that was why like it booted really slowly. Maybe they were just like, we need to be taken more seriously after our brand image the last go around. Maybe we just need to be something simple. One thing I do know, because maybe I'm getting the details on this a little bit wrong. Maybe it's not everybody, but I was looking at it, I was like, what the hell happened to the team that like did the Wii interface, like menu and design and music and whatnot? Apparently most of those guys work on Splatoon now. Because Splatoon was like a total, like the whole thing when they promoted it was like it was a new young team of guys, not like kind of the legacy people at Nintendo. I think it was a lot of the people who had previously been in charge of like not system architecture, I suppose, but system interface stuff, user interface stuff for broader Nintendo branding. They're apparently handling a lot of that now. We got another locked door here
What a weird
with the dragon
symbol.
designs. And also, I'm going to make things more difficult for myself in the edit, but this keeps stuttering, and I'm really hoping that it's not the recording. I'm going to pause it for 1 second and just kind of let it, like, buffer for a second.
Okay.
And hopefully that'll... Hopefully, it was just that the file wasn't happy with me. Hopefully it's not the recording. If it is the recording, oh, great. I'm glad that I put in all this effort and try so hard to get everything right, and it never matters.
Sure, we'll be fine. Come on.
Making YouTube videos is fun.
Assuming Corneo was telling us the truth.
Sometimes.
Real dark down here.
It is real
y'all.
dark down here.
What is really up to? I mean, they've got to have an end game, but I can't imagine what it is.
I mean,
Destroying
killing
a whole
50,000
chunk of the
people
city
isn't...
just to get back at
Yeah, but
us
what's the
doesn't
point of
make
that?
Any kind of sense.
It's fun.
Yeah. I can't imagine any way they could profit from it. It's gonna cost them a
Man
fortune
is
to
the
build.
real problem. We have to cull the population.
Guys like him do it all the time out of habit.
I don't remember it being this dark.
Heard it here first. Heard it here first, folks. Men are pathological liars.
There he is. There's that bootlicker.
Locked up tight.
That puddle splasher.
But not if we use the skeleton key Jesse made.
Huh. Does this mean it's in the water?
We'll see.
How does Aerith know the stamp graffiti code of Avalanche? I'm thinking maybe it's not very good code. I think everybody knows. Up, camera. Come on. Get in there, buddy. There you go.
Awesome.
That's a power generator, all right.
Wow, that's an ancient.
It's an antique. Older than the Mako reactors, even. It'd be a miracle if it still works.
This exchange, even just this bit, reminds me a bit of, Joey, do you remember 27 years ago when we played a little bit of Final Fantasy XII? There's an early dungeon in that where you have to manage electrical power, and it's not really discussed explicitly, but basically through implication, and eventually, like, I think it's in like the glossary for that game essentially. But like that world is post electricity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they figured out that when they figured out a way to use mist to generate power,
They just
it was
abandoned
more efficient. That's an interesting world because it doesn't look like the future. It's medieval, but they have airships. It's more, I guess it's more early modern because they have like guns exist, but they're not commonly accepted. Because there's a period there where like kind of like the early modern period. You look at European warfare, and you have people using rifles. You have people using early guns. But you still have a lot of guys in armor with swords. You have guys on horses with pikes.
It's like it hasn't been the old hasn't been phased out for the new yet. It's
Right.
Yeah,
just
it's
entering
not
that
it's not
area.
widely adopted enough. It's still expensive. There were guilds that controlled like the information about how to design guns and how to use them. 12's a little bit like that, but they have airplanes. And look, there's Stamp guarding a treasure.
Wow.
He's guarding the treasure chest.
Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Hey Tifa, check out this key I just picked up off the ground.
Don't worry about it. So once you turn on the lights, you can also run, and you have to just figure out which one. I think there's stamp graffiti in the other room to tell you which one it is. But you can drain the water in this room too. Not much of value. Just some money, if I recall correctly. 800 gil.
Here's your consolation prize.
Yeah, not much, and also some crates. Oh wow, a Moogle medal and 2 high potions.
Love me to Moogle medals.
Moggy will love this.
This stinky, stinky, stinky metal.
That just means it's rarer, you know?
Yeah.
Moogles like rare stuff.
Totally.
It's true. They have a special texture on them now.
The stamp pose with his hands up like that reminded me of
Aerith,
Damn.
come on.
to the viewers at home who haven't been spammed with pictures of a kitten that I got recently. I got a kitten recently. So we had Bean, a cat that I got in a Taco Bell parking lot. We have added Sprout now, and Sprout's itty bitty. He's like 8-9 weeks old.
Might be harder than you
And
think.
to cope with the fact that he's living with a couple-year-old cat and he has to hold his own, he's taken on the approach of red pandas, who just like who get real big, and he will come at her from across the room on 2 legs.
That's
just,
awesome.
Just going for it, and it cracks me up. So seeing the little stamp stuff, I was like, "You get him, buddy."
Yes, we got feathered gloves from Tifa out of the hopefully airtight container underneath the sewer water. Again, once again, just doing some quick upgrades on this one. Nothing too interesting. This weapon gives us some speed, gives us a number of speed increases, and also we just saw a second ago, like, ATB increase from like using I think it was using abilities repeatedly. You get more ATB or something like that. Because again, it's been a while since I taped this. And Tifa's all about speed. She's got the highest speed stat naturally of anybody in here. You boost it even faster. She can build those gauges real quick.
Okay.
We were talking about last time that if you parry out of her focused thrust move, we talked about like we use focused thrust and it like refills the gauge anyway. If you parry out of it, like you can follow up almost immediately with no downtime. You don't have to sit through a cooldown animation. Oh yeah, by the way, I lied. Back in the rafters, I said we never saw these fish again. You had to assess them then. I forgot. You do see them here in the sewers. But anyway, we got a new move for Tifa called Star Shower.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool. I like this move, all right.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's cool.
We got some smelling salts.
Yeah.
Woo! Need them down here.
Anyway,
For real.
no, Star Shower's awesome. Great crowd control move for Tifa. Get people bunched up on top of her and then they just melt. The other thing that it does is...
Got all these dragon signs on doors.
There is a brief window after Star Shower is used where any other ATB move that Tifa uses will do additional damage.
Ooh.
So if you wait until you have 2 full meters and use Star Shower, you can follow up with another move that'll be boosted a little bit.
Nice. Very cool, very good.
It doesn't take much for, like, you've been going through the sequel with this.
Yes.
And it's like, in the back of my mind, it's always like, yeah, I need to get to that sometime. But it's like, all it takes is watching a little bit of gameplay. It's like, I need it. I need it. I need to get through Persona 3, but, But everybody's wanting to play Fortnite, and everybody's wanting to play the
Fallout 76.
I know that those bubbles are probably so dangerous.
They put you to sleep.
Oh man, I want to touch them so bad.
Oh, 100%.
I want to touch those. That's the first thing in this level I've been like, I want to pop one of those bad boys.
It would knock you out.
Nothing else in this level have I wanted to touch. They're all icky. But I want to pop one of those bubbles. See, he has icky bubbles.
It's because it's the color of them too, where it's like it's
100%.
It's that like lavender color.
Yep.
It's the color of sleep in Elden Ring. Funny enough.
What? There's some other game where little purpley stones are like soul gems. And I only know that because I had a pair of earrings that had like very raw looking like amethyst crystals on them.
You just got countered.
Yeah, I'm not doing great against these guys. These guys have a really solid defense. You need to hit them with magic when they turtle up, and I'm not playing right.
That was when I had those earrings, and more than frequently was a phase in my life where I was out in the sun a lot more, and so my hair looked a lot redder.
Sure.
And someone made a joke about like, oh, you're a ginger, and those are your soul gems. You have to keep your soul like in your ears because you don't have one. And I was like, haha, very funny. Ooh.
Oh yeah, very edgy. Whoa,
yeah. Yep, we're definitely in middle school.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
So the lowest hanging fruit is always the funniest.
Because you figure nobody will go for it, but then when they do say it, it's so unexpected.
Yeah, precisely.
Almost forgot here. You're supposed to walk across this thing, but I remembered at the last second. There's actually, if Cloud goes backwards,
Whoa!
There's a catwalk over here with a chest on it. Or no, it's a materia. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, we saw it at the beginning.
Yeah, we saw it when we came out initially. They let you know it was there, so if you were paying attention.
Orb of Poison, yeah, you'd find that down here.
I think we already had a poison materia, and I'm gonna be real. I think you probably don't need 2 poison materia. I think that's probably a little redundant. But I guess I don't know. Maybe you missed the first one.
I was gonna say, Jacob, what have you missed?
Huh? Yeah. What have I missed exactly?
I like that Aerith puts both of her arms all the way out.
Yeah.
Just little bits of characterization.
Yep.
Always nice.
I like that a lot. It's a good touch.
I remember years ago a video on Overwatch talking about everybody's like idle.
Gross.
Well, no, that's the thing. Yeah, good reaction. It was like, talking about everybody's like idle animations and like the way they're animated.
I think
and
you might literally be talking about the New Frame Plus video.
Probably
that Dan Floyd did, the guy that I mention often because he has a Let's Play channel that does the story-focused FF14 playthrough. Mm-hmm. Also, he does great videos on animation.
But it's like I think about that video every now and then. It's like, man, remember when people liked Overwatch?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Remember when Overwatch was kind of fun for a little while?
For like 1 year, and then I think it was probably when they removed hero stacking. That was the beginning of the it's not fun anymore.
God, yeah. And it's like, I hate to give them any sort of credit. I really do. But it's like, it got to a point where that was a problem. Just when it was like, it's amazing that it took as long as it did. There was like one champion where it's like there was a no counter if you just had everybody be this person.
Yeah.
But like, who cares? Whatever. Overwatch, I know I've said it before, but it's like it really is like the epitome of like the competitive brain, like
overcoming the fun brain.
Exactly. It's like that game was fun, and then they balanced the hell out of it, and it just became miserable.
Stop thinking about what Corneo said.
You can't stop thinking about how he said that everyone you know is gonna die.
That's crazy.
That would bug me a little too, Tifa.
There's no way they'd go that far.
They would though.
But what if Corneo really was telling the truth? We have to get there in time to stop it. We have to.
Then start walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Aerith, what are you not telling me?
Huh?
Guys,
gang.
Come on. We gotta keep moving.
Coming!
Final Fantasy gang, we gotta roll out.
I would not be jumping on that. No. Not in the sewage.
Is she having an pro-tag moment?
Earth.
What are you doing right now?
On my way.
Girly pop.
Here we go.
I love her boots.
I
love this opportunity to take a close up on her boots.
Can you not swim? Is that what we're about to find out?
No, I think she can swim. I only say that because she does in fact swim in the second game, and there's no comment on it. I think it's just that this is, a little stressful. I don't want to fall in the sewer
Didn't have to learn to swim at nearly 30.
Uh-oh.
To be fair, you wouldn't have much cause to swim probably here in Midgar. I doubt they've got great public pools here.
Yeah.
That was close.
Icky.
Thanks, you saved me.
Least I could do.
Hear that, Cloud? Come on.
You were pointing out her little boots, and yesterday we watched Underworld, and it was the first time I saw Underworld, and I was waiting for it to set the mood, and it took like 10 seconds, and it showed our main character jump off a building and land, and she had like the boots that go, like the leather boots that go all the way up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is a time capsule. This is 2000s.
Those are back in now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I hope her whole outfit's back in.
Kurt said, "Are you
badass.
still thinking about the plate?" After 5 seconds.
That's what I always tell myself.
Yeah? I hope you're right.
How about this then? Think of something fun. After saving Sector 7, you're gonna...
I'm gonna... go shopping. Topside. I'll buy stuff for the bar. Decorations. Coasters.
Coaster.
You'd better.
Wow, we're friends.
You need a hobby.
Cloud can carry all our stuff.
He'll be our pack chocobo.
What was that about me?
Nothing.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
I love it when you look at the bridge, you can see it's like, you look at animation cells and you can see the thing that's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
move.
Whoa!
Whoa! Claudin, why didn't you use your jump points from Grand Theft Auto 5 that you've been cashing in? You've been collecting for a decade.
1, 2, 3.
Funniest thing they could do is if GTA 6 still has those and they still don't do anything.
No need to be.
So something
Funniest thing
that's
they could do with GTA 6 is it comes out and there's no multiplayer.
yeah, that would also be really funny. They just keep updating GTA 5. So one of the interesting things about this remake, as it, like, conceptually, that we just got to see a little bit of, is that in the original game you have a obviously text-driven dialogue,
Okay.
no voice acting, and this isn't as much of an element while you are in Midgar. Basically everything that's covered in the first part of this remake, this doesn't, strictly speaking, apply to.
Okay.
But once you get to what the stuff that's covered in part 2, it's a bigger deal. For most of Final Fantasy VII and everything after you leave Midgar, you can pick who's in your party.
Okay.
Like, you have 3 people in your party at any given moment in time. So far, the story has been structured. We've never been hanging out with more than 3 people. Later on, you can pick who's in your party, and a consequence of that is, let's say so Cloud always has to be in your party, but you can have Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, and other people we haven't met yet. So let's say I go into a town and I decide that I'm gonna hang out with Tifa and Barrett right now, not with Aerith, right? The game has to know when I walk up to the next story character that I'm gonna talk to, it has to adapt for whoever can possibly be in my party. And they don't write a unique variation of every single scene for every single character who could be there, because that would be insane.
Right.
Generally speaking, the way the dialogue is structured is whatever the story mandatory characters are have their lines. They
Yep.
know Cloud has to be there.
Right.
Which means that whoever you're accompanying... Tifa, calm down. Whoever your accompanying party members are, basically, the scene has to be written as if any of them could be there.
Okay.
So if there is maybe a moment that has slightly more to do with Barrett than it does to do with Aerith, then maybe when Barrett speaks up, he'll go, it's just like that thing that happened to me back when, or whatever. And Aerith maybe wouldn't say that. But the NPC that they're talking to can't respond to what Barrett just said, because they have to talk the same way no matter who's in your party, right? And another big problem with this is that unless it is a specific point where it's like, oh, here's a scene where all the characters are talking to each other and hanging out, the gang doesn't talk to each other much.
Because they never know who's gonna be there.
Because they don't know who's going to be there. Unless it's a set scene where it's like, we know this is a scene where this is a story beat where everybody's present. It is possible to walk into pretty significant story beats in Final Fantasy VII where it's like, this is a problem with art. This is a problem with old RPGs in general. Like, this isn't a Final Fantasy VII problem. This is an RPG problem. ProZD has made videos making jokes about this, where it's like, I'm gonna walk into the scene where it's like the guy who killed Aerith's grandfather,
Right.
and who she's been looking for her entire life to get revenge on. And you're like, I think I'm gonna bring in the secret optional unlockable party member who you might not even be able to, who may not even have, because I think he's cool, and also Tifa, because I like how she punch.
Yeah.
And these characters don't know who this person is that I'm gonna fight.
Right.
Yeah.
This is an RPG problem in general.
Okay.
It is, and it's in all sorts of things. I specifically, going back to your point earlier, I think back to Mass Effect, where it's like, if a character has something unique to say in the conversations, like, you'll be talking with a guy, and it cuts to them, it's like, this guy's a real asshole. And it just cuts back to a guy talking, completely ignoring
Yeah,
all that.
because it has to account for who's in your crew. Rather, it can't account for who's in your crew.
It's always funny.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, it's a little, it's like, it's effort that they're putting in there, but it feels like immersion breaking, because it's just like, come on.
Yeah, so what I was going to say, number one, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, is written in such a way that for any story content, it either does figure out, like, this is the 5 people who are with you right now, or it just says everybody's here. More often than not, for the main story content in Rebirth, just everybody's there.
Okay.
Which is difficult to handle that big of an ensemble, because this party balloons.
Gotcha.
It gets bigger. And
yes.
the other solution that they have in Rebirth is that any side quest you do it is Cloud and one other character are the people for that side quest, basically.
I see, okay.
And there may be like a given moment or two where it's like, oh, let's bring this other character up for like a line of dialogue because it's relevant to them.
Okay.
But like it doesn't matter. Like if it is a Cloud and Tifa hanging out side quest, you can have Barrett and Aerith in your party, but all the cutscenes are going to be Cloud and Tifa.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyway, what I was going to say is, because they know everybody's going to be here all the time, one thing that this part of the game and part 2 both have tried really hard to do is to beef up the relationships between the supporting cast members.
I like that.
Yeah, because you had, because of the way that Midgar was structured, that it's like, hey, it's these characters and they're always here. You did have like a sense of like Tifa and Barrett talked to each other.
Yep.
Tifa and Aerith talked to each other.
Yep.
But after you left Midgar, there was no guarantee that they were going to be in the party, so you kind of lose that.
Yeah.
There's a real effort here and in part 2 to beef up everybody's relationships with each other. And I comment on that because we were watching that scene a minute ago where Aerith is trying to get Tifa refocused and cheer her up a little bit with this impending crisis.
What are we doing
hanging
fun
over our
when we're
heads?
done?
Yeah. This has led to, I won't say it never existed before, but there has been an explosion in Tifa and Aerith shipping in the last couple of years.
I see.
And no, but I mean it's fun. They're really well written together.
Yeah.
Both here and in part 2.
I wonder. There must be some way we can lower the
Just
water.
swim in the shit.
Something that's really fun because
You can
you
get outta
were
here.
talking about in the last episode when they were both giving each other high fives about how cool they are beating up all those guys.
Yeah.
You were like, "Yay, we're best friends. We're not fighting over the same guy." One thing that's really fun that I feel like would have been an easy trap to fall into is that they don't like. It would have been so easy to just descend into they hate each other because they're both after
Exactly.
Cloud,
Yep.
and they don't do that,
Good. I'm glad.
which is super pleasant.
I'm very glad they did not.
Imagine spending 3 games of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Absolutely not.
And they are not Rey and Asuka.
Thank God.
No luck?
Oh yay! Everybody's favorite part of this game.
A red light indicates a block.
It's funny, you were like, you mentioned the sewer, and I was like, I don't remember this.
Yeah, it's because nothing
But
happens.
then I remembered, like, in my mind's eye, rooms that look like this one.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Eric, you mind giving me a hand?
So also, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the other reason people hate the sewers is this is the only dungeon in the entire game you have to repeat.
We'll be back soon.
The game sends you go through a different section of it later. This is the only part of the game makes you go through multiple times that isn't like the overworld of the city. It's really quite
Just shout
funny.
if you need anything.
All right, Cloud, I'll shout if I need something.
Yippee.
I think I was just trying to like show off all like parts of Aerith's walk cycle here because we don't get to play as just Aerith very often. I think I forgot to full on sprint with her because she does her kind of girly run. Also, woo! Something also really funny. You can blow up boxes as her.
Awesome.
I think this is the one opportunity you have in the game to do this. Pow!
Girls just want to have fun.
Wah!
I thought she was like sending out a projectile like usual.
No,
She's
she
just
isn't.
whacking.
She only swings it. But there's just a burst of magical energy because she is so magical and I
Yeah.
love her so much.
Absolutely.
So maybe this is a little different from the one at the more industrial?
This mini game is really good. You have to pump up this thing to expand our red target zone, and then swing the thing down when the needle's inside of it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just mad because bad. Not only does the needle move fast, I think the detection on like when you have to do the I don't think the input and when the thing actually stops like match well enough. I think there's some latency.
Yeah.
It's like an arcade machine.
Yeah, no, to be clear, like it stops when you make the input. You can see like the needle stops before Aerith actually does the animation of moving it.
Yeah.
But you're not pressing a button. You have to move the left stick down like you're moving the thing. And I really don't like this. Now, it only reduces a little bit each time you fail, so you can eventually get our red zone really, really wide. Makes it easier. But we have to do this 3 times, and it shrinks every time, and it fills up slower each time, and the needle moves faster every time.
Well, this is the consequence of wanting RPGs to have little mini games. Is
Yes.
they don't always win.
I'm planning on hopefully making a video talking about a little bit of this and stuff. I've been thinking about a video like this for years. I've got a new like format, a new like idea for it. But yeah, you've got this problem of maybe like an overcorrect. You see it especially in Remake Part 2, the ongoing over a decade long now Final Fantasy 13 overcorrection. But that's what we're looking at right here. Yay, olden days, it was easy to do. Part of the reason why like RPGs were so neat was because everything was so abstracted. It was all text-based. Like the carnival games at the beginning of Chrono Trigger come to mind as something that was like really simple to make, coding-wise and animation-wise.
Jeez.
Yeah, it takes a while. Well, no, I mean, what am I talking about? I apologize. I was just skipping one for everybody's time. No, actually, aha, psych, I failed again.
Awesome.
Could have gone better.
Could have gone better.
Damn.
Psych, failed again.
This is a game for real gamers.
Yeah, but no, you've got this thing where like in Chrono Trigger, you have at the very beginning of Chrono Trigger, you go to a carnival that has tons of mini games. But they're pretty simple coding wise. You're walking around on the map and you have sprites walking around, and the mini games are things like you can do a shell game basically, where it's like 3 identical sprites walk out and they're like, I'm so and so, I'm so and so, I'm so and so, and then they move around and you say which one's which. That is like very, very simple animations, and you pick something in a menu, mini game done. There's a mini game where you can gamble on a foot race. There's like a soldier, a kid, and like a cat, just because those are the sprites that they have, and they're all running around in a circle, and you can bet on who's gonna win next, and it's just like random who walks across the finish line next, and that's a mini game. There's a carnival strength challenge of like, you know, swinging the thing and hitting, you know, the bell, right? Ding! And that's just like a little timing mini game. There's basically no animation for it. It just says hit the button and then there's a sound effect, and that's a mini game. In Ye Olden days, everything was in menus and in your imagination, and it was easy to do mini games. Now I got to make a pump asset. I got to make a pump interface. I got to make pumping animations for the girls. And so for a while, when RPGs were getting ludicrously expensive to make, at the ending of at the beginning of the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, it was like, we can't do this. We got to make these massive worlds, and they got to be in HD. We got like, there's too much. We can't be doing this anymore. Which is how you get a Final Fantasy 13 that's like, we kind of want to be making an action game. We kind of want to be. I mean, they talked about Gears of War and Uncharted. Like as like inspiration points essentially. At least I think they talked about it. I know that I'm trying to remember. I know they talked about Uncharted. I think they talked about Gears. Final Fantasy 13 wants to be a linear action game, but the trouble is you are doing. And by the way, the next like 3 minutes took me 17 takes. To get exactly the way that I wanted to, because I want to show off something these guys do. These guys use spears. They do jump moves like dragoons do in Final Fantasy. I don't remember if it's on this fight where a thing happens. It's here. Harpoon hurl. Bam.
Yeah.
So this is the frog status effect. We got the Maiden's Kiss from Betty a year ago, which I said it cures the frog status ailment, and yes, Aiden is making a face because she forgot about this.
Yep, I sure did.
This is a classic status ailment in Final Fantasy that turns you into a frog. Normally, you don't have many options as a frog.
Do we still have a little bow? Because
yes,
for Aerith?
she has a little bow.
Oh
All
my
of them
gosh.
have a little unique visual effect. Also, like this, the patterns and stripes on them are different, but Aerith keeps a little bow. And also, just because you're a frog doesn't mean you can't fight. Doesn't mean you can't whip your tongue at him to do a little damage and fling yourself toward him and do melee combat.
Ew. I don't like it.
It's even worse because once again we're in a sewer right now.
And they leap and jump through the air. Now nobody has unique animations for this, but they also have an ATB move called Leapfrog, which is basically Tifa's dive kick. They come back down and attack.
Oh my goodness.
It's the best.
Look.
This is one of those things that is like, this is old school JRPGs where it's like, oh, the sprite changes. Oh, the model changes. You would not expect them to keep in our new land of HD complex animations, and they went all out on this little feature. They have an ATB move. They also have Bubble Breath as their triangle move. They can shoot out a ranged attack where they shoot bubbles.
Oh, I like that bubble.
That did way more damage.
That's
than
a good bubble.
So then you just have to wait for that to expire, or you use use Maiden's Kiss to cure it, or Remedy because it cures everything. But why would you ever turn it off prematurely? Is my question.
Exactly.
Yep.
You got hit with the move. Now you got to pay the tax.
You can get an accessory called an enfeeblement ring, which forces Frog as soon as you go into a fight and there's no timer on it. This is just for funsies. or if you're a freak and you want to run the entire game with a full party of frogs, which people have done. I have watched fights of hard mode level 50 runs of people beating the final boss of this game as frogs.
How long does it take?
It takes a while, but it's very funny. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. You know that one Twitter account that does, like, he always does really impressive, like, slow motion, like DMC, like, focusing on DMC Bayonetta stuff, but he always finds, like, any game that he can pull cool clips from, he does it. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It starts with an S, and he's got, like, his user icon is like a motorcycle helmet or something like that. It's like a white
I've seen him, but I don't
motorcyclist.
know off the top of my dome.
Harpoon her for Cloud. Pow!
Woo,
So if you get
let's
hit with the
go.
explosion afterwards, it turns you into a frog. And for Cloud,
He keeps his sword.
he keeps his sword. And like I said, their patterns and their coloration are a little bit different
Yeah.
for all of them.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
I was so happy when this happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already out of it.
That's if you finish the fight, it takes it away. Yeah, you can't be a frog out of combat, even if you have the enfeeblement ring equipped.
Maybe for the third game.
Yeah,
you
no,
can.
I remember somebody doing a really funny edit of beating the final boss of this game with a full party of frogs.
Oh my
God,
gosh.
that would take years.
It would take a really, it's a long fight.
Because I've watched some BS. I've watched people do, like, New Game plus 7, like, Souls game fist-only runs.
Yeah.
I remember a fella on YouTube named Lobo Jr. He beat it was Bloodborne DLC final, well, all the bosses, but his DLC final boss fist only level 1, no healing, no HUD, New Game plus 7.
What?
And the successful attempt was like 35-40 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, you've got so this segment took me. You saw me like do a crossfade when we were finished with the pumps. That was me saving because this took me 7 or 8 takes, I think, maybe more, honestly.
Yeah.
To get specifically, I wanted to show off all 3 party members' frog forms, and I kept
Yeah.
either not getting all of them, or like somebody would get turned into a frog, and then the fight would end, so I didn't get to show it.
Yeah.
Or they died instantly, whatever else. So it took a long time to get this where I finished the fights cleanly, but also had time to show them all off. Anyway, Tifa's is her markings on her hands are red for her gloves, and she has her markings are also where her suspenders are, and she has a skirt on.
That's adorable.
Oh no, not markings. She just has suspenders. Yeah, I can see that now actually.
Oh.
But yeah, she got taken out of it pretty
Yeah,
fast. But
she
this
was
was
pretty
this was
quick.
still the cleanest take that I had of seeing
Yeah.
of at least being able to show off all of them. You know, at least you know their movesets aren't different. It's just you just
Yeah.
want to show off their designs.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to show off their moveset cleanly once and show off everybody's designs. That was the intent.
God, now I want to see these runs of people doing like frog only stuff because I want to see what the optimized frog build looks
Oh my
like. You know what I
goodness.
mean?
Yeah. Because you can't do anything. Your materia doesn't matter. You got no spells. You
Exactly.
just got those moves.
But it's like, what can you do? Oh no!
Icky.
But it's like, what can you do to make the best of
Yeah,
this
to up your
situation?
survivability.
For more. We're not delicious. Not even a little.
Get going.
No. Okay.
You too.
They're real.
But there's too many of them.
They're real slimy? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, they're real fishy looking.
They are fishy looking. They're fishy guys.
Oh, you said they were turtle guys.
They are turtle guys.
They're
Yeah.
fishy guys.
I think they're both. I think you can be a little bit of both.
It's the
Traditionally-
permanently open mouths like a lamprey that are not
Yeah.
doing it for me.
Traditionally, they're more fishy, but these guys have shells.
I can't help. I don't know this for sure, but it really feels like the game came out in 1997 and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. But I don't know that for sure.
Icky. Are they not down there? Still, like,
No, they don't care. We got out of their territory.
oh, okay.
They'll leave us alone.
All right.
We left. We left. They were just defending their home.
Okay.
Mission's been approved. We ought to proceed as planned.
Uh-oh.
This is bullshit. What the hell are they thinking?
Threats to public order are to be summarily put down. This is what we've always done.
Summarily put down. Guess it's a little late to grow a conscience.
Just on patrol.
Don't worry, we'll make it in time.
I feel like we're not gonna make it.
I like that both of them tried in different ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both of them tried in very true to themselves ways.
Damn, they're just going, aren't they?
Yeah, they head out. I mean, listen, we don't have any time to spare.
They got a shop.
I'm gonna Red Bull real fast though.
Yeah. Guys, I'm real thirsty after that. They got Mentos in here. Also, we all spent got that all that time in the sewer. Beep, bop, bop, boop, beep.
A real treasure trove of scrap. Sector 7 should be just past that large.
So we didn't get to come in here previously, but we saw people talking about the train graveyard. We saw town watch people stopping people from slipping in here by the station earlier on in the game.
Because there's ghosts.
Because there's monsters.
They said there were monsters, and they were trying to stop people from going out there and getting hurt. And we also heard some people saying that there were ghosts. And they said, "There's no such thing as ghosts. What are you talking about?" At least some people said that.
I love it, and I mean, it would be the same in any world you live in, but I love it when it's like you have this world full of all these fantasy creatures.
Yeah, whatever is normal.
They pick one thing. It's like, you're crazy. Those don't exist.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing because it's like to them the things that are normal are normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a sludge creature, but it's like, no, ghosts are a little bit too far.
Everyone seems to think that the train graveyard is haunted. Those who lose their way out there in the dark of night will never, ever find their way back home again.
Jeez.
Is that right?
I mean, it's not like I think it's true or anything. But, you know, it's just...
Then let's hurry.
Let's hurry on the next episode. That's all we got for now. Got out of the sewers, though. Next time around, maybe we'll see some ghosts.